My name is Jeff Gallimore. I'm Director of Operations for Zurich North America Commercial Insurance. I guess we're last, but not least. I stole that from me, right? I want to start off with a quote. And much like Maria earlier, I was doing some research, wanted to see, some themes around innovation. So I have two quotes. I'll share one at the beginning and one at the end. Innovation starts by intimately observing the customer. That's by Jeremy Gacci. And hopefully it'll kind of frame the discussion and how we're working with Open Data Nation. So I spent most of my career in insurance, 25 plus years on the operations side, focused on how to help insurance companies see tomorrow today. I used to imagine what it would be like to improve the customer and broker experience through the use of data and insights. How do I see what is unseen? Today, those are table stakes. So as excitement continues to build around analytics, firms like One Data Nation are looking to change the game in a material and significant way, not only to protect customers from risk, but to prevent the event from even occurring. There are other innovation questions to consider, and Zurich is considering both of these and working with Open Data Nation to kind of solve these problems. How do we prioritize risk and quote ones that have the greatest opportunity to win? How might we use data and analytics to price the risk before we even receive the submission? As we look at Open Data Nation's philosophy, there's some common themes there. Be proactive, not reactive. And this is important to plan, prioritize, and evaluate. When we talk about planning, we want to know the problem that we need to see tomorrow, not yesterday. Know where and how to deploy resources and spend them in a way to optimize for impact. And we want to evaluate and measure with certainty so we know the work that we did actually worked. So in closing, I'd like to offer the final quote. Innovation is taking two things that already exist and putting them together in a new way. Personally, I enjoyed the opportunity to mentor both Open Data Nation and Strong Arm this year. I learned a lot on a personal level. I hope to continue working with this group as we move forward. And it's my pleasure to introduce Carrie Nadeau from Open Data Nation.
Open Data Nation is working with some of the largest insurance carriers to do one really important thing, and that's increase their sales both strategically and profitably in cities. So the state of affairs today is that carriers spend a ton of money, $43 billion every single year, chasing only $15 billion worth of available premiums in the small and medium enterprise lines. It's a lot of money. Why is that? Well, small and medium enterprise lines is actually one of the most highly automated lines, and yet 60% of applications that come through the automated system get kicked out and touched by an underwriter. That's the equivalent of 7.5 million applications every year that an underwriter looks at and spends anywhere from 2 hours to 2 weeks reviewing all of those different websites. They don't have Diffeo's technology yet. What does that mean? Well, it means that they spend a lot of time underwriting things that aren't necessarily in their underwriting box and spending time quoting things that they won't ultimately win. So the core question that we want to resolve is, how can we quickly, effectively, efficiently triage all of the submissions that an underwriter needs to touch, the stuff that gets kicked out of the automated system, and effectively help them focus on the stuff that they want to win. Open Data Nation creates a proprietary risk score for every commercial business. An underwriter will come to our application and look at that risk score in order to decide what they shouldn't continue reviewing and how they should prioritize the remainder. The secret sauce here is that we use or tap into about 2.5 billion city administrative records. These are things like inspection results, permit requests, and we build a machine learning model that's calibrated just one time to the current appetite risk so that you can look at policies or prospective policies of businesses that you don't insure yet. This tool does not require any IT installation, requires no hardware, no customer adoption, very different from what's currently on the market and is currently hosted in the cloud. So let's focus on one example, restaurants. How do you find the risk of the Chipotle that's likely to make everybody sick, have workers' compensation issues, and separate that out from the pack from all the other Chipotles, the majority of which are just fine to eat a burrito at? Well, the industry currently spends $1.3 billion every single year, again, just quoting restaurants. What Open Data Nation does is tell you which Chipotles to insure and which not to. So in that process, we're making the underwriting more efficient. We are reducing the time and cost and spending that underwriters take to quote these policies. And a reduction in the restaurant space of 10% is the equivalent of about $3 million in spending just for the underwriter alone that we can save. In early POCs, we're also seeing that this is improving risk selection. So changing the loss ratios and improving them by anywhere from 6 to 10 points. We are not a data brokerage. Data brokers will just bury you in data. If anyone has ever bought data from a company that has a picture of the universe, you'll have empathy for that statement. In fact, we differentiate ourselves and our company, as Jeff suggested, as a company that's looking to actually solve problems, not bury you in the 2.5 billion records of data that we could bury you in. The problems we're solving are helping you, again, make more money, spend less money, and optimize to win. This week marks Open Data Nation's 4-year anniversary in business. We're really excited about that, to launch actually our first line with insurance. So we've launched OpenDataNationInsure.com today, and the first of one of our suite of products that we hope to roll out over the next couple of months with pilots in the insurance carriers that we've connected to through the FinTech lab. The first will be a triage tool, but we anticipate that that tool will evolve also into a market and appetite expansion tool. Helps you penetrate new geographies and new cases, new lines of business, as well as a customer engagement tool that alerts customers to real-time elevated risk as we observe it. We are moved to New York this year, and at the end of this year, we'll be raising our first actual seed round this fall. Open Data Nation is a team of about 12 folks now who are absolutely brilliant and eager to meet you. Myself, I'm an MIT-trained city planner and spent about 10 years studying cities at the Urban Institute and Brookings Institution. And at the table outside, we have a few folks who have an expertise in machine learning, computer science, and cities as well. We're looking forward to helping you find problems that you can solve with city administrative data. Thank you.